Oh, hell no. Now that's better. This is your president, Ms. Entertainment, and welcome to the Power Hour. We're getting ready to kick this thing off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, y'all. What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Ms. Entertainment. I am the president of the Real Ass People Society. So welcome to the Power Hour. Woo! We changed stuff, so we ain't got a capture rate, but so we have it next week. But so we're live every Saturday at noon on Terradome Entertainment Radio, where we play the best hits from old school to new school, hip hop, R&B, and more. So go to TerradomeENTRadio.com, click on the Listen Live button, or tune in on TuneIn or Live 365. And if you don't catch us live, you can catch the replays on TerradomeENTRadio.com or on all your major podcast apps. Of course, I'm not in a place alone. Let me introduce my Chief Entertainment Officer, DJ Talented.
What's going on? I'm missing my claps, man. I'm missing my claps. Well, what's going on? It's your boy DJ Talented in the building, man, and I'm feeling real good today. And as I always say, it's better to be above it than under it. You dig?
You ain't changed the camera where they can see who's talking.
It's all right.
So in the studio, we got, coming from my left, Miss Pam Olivia.
Hey,
we're gonna do y'all.
How y'all be? Hey, family online.
I'm waiting on him to change the camera, but
What you mean? Camera change, woman.
And next to her, we got Miss Denell Porché. He don't got up. My damn engineer, I swear to God, I'm on fire his ass.
Don't
fire.
He has a joint at the end.
You
Jeez.
can't fire me, nigga. You need me.
You did. That sound like a movie.
But we gonna wait until he get this. Well, we still need to. Can we?
Woman.
Yes, but I need to introduce my third guest. Now he want to mess with the goddamn camera.
Why am I messing with the camera? Answer that one.
Miss Nene, the director.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
You know what, man? I'm gonna fire you on your own damn show.
They so cute.
So, how was your weeks, ladies? Before we get into this hot topic, how was your weeks? Well, this past week, because we've been off the air for about 2 weeks now, because we just had shit to do.
That's real.
Life, right?
I'm delightful. I had a delightful week.
Delightful.
Yeah, delightful.
I'm quite lovely. I'm a lovely week. That's family speaking.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What about you, Miss Pam?
I'm lovely.
You lovely?
Yes, quite lovely. I'm feeling quite British today.
British.
Okay. Just for the moment, it could pass.
Okay.
I could turn Jamaican at any time, you know.
Oh, come through. Yes, I love it.
Miss Nene.
My week was good. You know, it was all right. It was all right.
Well, shit, my week was a lot. I ain't gonna even lie.
It sounds so busy.
It was very busy. So sleep was not my friend for real this week. So,
but is sleep ever your friend?
That's why I said for real.
I mean, like, you debating and debacling with the sleep.
It's totally off. It's like I had to work all day. Then we had some shit we had to do at night, and then I had to be back up at 4:00 that following morning for some more stuff at work, and there still work the whole day. And then we had meetings, and it was just crazy.
Oh, wow.
It was just crazy.
It was the 4 a.m.
I know, right? It's no reason to go to sleep.
Right.
I'm just gonna go ahead and just stay up.
I tried to go to sleep, and then my manager, she texted me at 2:30 and tell me she ain't gonna be on the call until 4:30. Why you text me? Now I'm up again.
Oh man!
Now I'm up again. I was like, you could send me an email. Like, I'm not looking for you anyway, to be on there. So I was like, all right.
Wow.
DJ Chandler, you want to talk about your week?
Not at all.
He grabbed the mic. I thought he was gonna say something.
Right.
I said enough.
You said a lot with that.
It's all in the breath.
Yeah, I feel my pain.
So let's get into some hot topics because I got you ladies here particularly.
You always got a reason. I feel like she won't.
When she texted me, I was like, "Oh, okay, you doing that show?" Okay.
Right.
I was airing out all my other stuff the last time relationships. I was like, fuck them. I said, y'all don't want me. Y'all want to see Denell not go high? I'm gonna be. What's that guy's name? Eric May. I can't even remember his name, but he was like, if y'all go low, I go lower. I was like, that day I'm going lower.
Yeah, just like who was that? I said somebody said you go low, I go to hell.
Oh,
I ain't messing with you.
You on that shit by yourself.
Somebody said that. Was some celebrity said that. It's like, yeah, you go low, but I'm going to hell. That means they going real low. They coming for you.
Well, this Eric, I think he's like a some councilman in Detroit, and he was like, "Y'all go low, I go lower," and that took me out. I laughed for like 50 days. I was just like, I ain't never seen. Yeah, I'm gonna go lower.
Yeah,
on 10. Yeah. Anyway,
that's where we are today.
Well, I always say, I'm always cool, but if you want to act crazy, I will meet your crazy with crazy and raise you one.
Oh,
So
come on.
That's too many goddamn words. Get to the goddamn point.
It's a point to that. It's like, hey, you want to act crazy? I will meet your that energy. Keep that energy. I will meet it and plus raise you one. But I try not to be that person anymore. So
Yes.
Ain't that something?
we got all this commentary.
you get on the mic and got all this commentary.
That's why you supposed to be on the mic, right?
That's what her eyeballs are saying. That she looking at you.
Well, most of the time he quiet back there. Then not today.
Today he's a real life. He really got some rest. That's what it was.
You gotta spill the beans.
All right, hot topics. Right. So recently, Love and Hip Hop aired an episode where Erica Mena, Latina who is fair-skinned actress and artist, called her castmate Spice repeatedly, who is dark-skinned. She's an artist. She could call her monkey, and she didn't stop just calling her monkey. She proceeded with making the monkey noises, sounds. She was committed to letting her know that she looked like monkey. So, of course, Erica received a lot of backlash. Folks was going in. And then at first, she doubled down. She doubled down did the Nene Leak saying, I said what I said. But then when they start, canceling them checks, then she issued an official apology. Now, for transparency, what sparked Erica to go there, and like you said, we was just talking about you go low, I go lower, her castmate was negatively commenting on her parenting skills. Still, no excuse. And then later on, just this week, MTV did a show with some of the cast talking about colorism. Now, my opinion, with celebrities, because of their wallet, they kind of exempt to a lot of that colorism and racism because they seeing that money. So I wanted to get a real discussion with my family and friends, just to talk about real life, when talking about colorism, which, when I told you about the topic, you say, you talking about racism, and they kind of go hand in hand. So before we dive in, let's level set. Racism, talking about the actual definition, is prejudice or discrimination against a racial or ethnic group. But colorism is prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. Now, even though they talk about being dark skinned for the discrimination, we know in the African American or Black community, light skin tone folks are discriminated too. So for me, I guess colorism kind of cuts deeper than racism. And I say that because, being an African-American woman, and then you already got to deal with racism being a woman, then being Black, And then in your own community, because I'm dark skinned, here comes another shit on you. So it's just, and then I guess also we know where this come from. This is what the results from slavery, how they use this just to keep us fighting with each other.
Right.
So what happened to when you know better?
You do better.
Why are we not doing better? Because we're still here in the same spot 2023, 400 plus years later.
Because a lot of them are still mentally fucked up.
Oh, that was direct. Right.
Straight up.
Right.
No chaser.
Right?
Straight to the
You
point.
got to get to them straight for them to understand. A lot of us as black people, we're still fucked up mentally. We're still going through the Willie Lynch letter. If y'all have ever read that, it's where they keep the man separate from the home. So Section 8, the woman is allowed in those type of homes. The men are not. If they get caught in those homes, they put the woman out. They keep the women basically barefoot and pregnant. They keep the little boys in the house until they're 18, and they kick them out, and they supposed to kick them out. But a lot of them just thinking that they're getting something over on the government. No, this is how they want you to react and to do, so that they can keep things separate. That's why most black families are not in the same household.
Now, going back to the Willie Lynch letter, the one thing that they did address is to keep the division. And one way is by, impregnating or raping the women, so they would have a different color, lighter skin tone most of the time for his kids. And then that's why you have the house nigger, and then you have the field nigger. So that's another way of separating. So just making it. Have you guys? And I made it all women for my guests purposely, because I want to hear it from the lady side, and then I want to do another show, with just all men, hearing from the men's side of different hues. Have you experienced any kind of colorism? And are you willing and talk about that? Go ahead, Mr. Denell, because I feel like you've been waiting.
I'm a person where I'm just like, fuck this, because at the end of the day, we are all having experiences, right? So of course I'm the type of person who likes to investigate and more like ponder, right? So because it's not just happening here in America, it's happening out everywhere. This whole thing or dynamics as far as colorism is concerned.
Agreed.
Because when George Floyd got harmed and killed, it was one of those things. There was a mass just energy that was sent out, not just nationally but internationally. And it's like, okay, so we're not the only persons that are having this colorism on top of racism, on top of everything else.
South America, where we kind of dropped off there too, first. Those of darker hue, they get discriminated against. And even when you're talking about the country of India, if they're another country that like to bleach their skin, or the lighter, fairer skin get more, I guess, perks than the darker Indian,
And theirs is more decisive, honestly, based off of what just their origination, the whole caste system itself. So having to even, uproot that. But the question you asked was, have I experienced?
Right.
I probably have, but I don't make it a point to give it any attention. So I come from, clearly I'm like, sitting at this damn table. Clearly, somebody would label me as a light-skinned black woman, right? And so, having discussion with my parents, my mom being very fair, she could pass for white.
She can.
My mom's side of family could pass for white on her maternal side. They did, given the context. Yeah. I talked with one of my great aunts, and getting that information, she was just like, yeah, there was a community, Halifax County, shout out to North Carolina, and where there was a man that came to a specific town, and if you could pass for white, you could join the organization. You only had to pay $1, and you were I guess, like introduced into that world.
Mm.
And she was told as a child and growing up and then having cousins and aunts and that, you don't approach them. You don't say anything unless it's in the privacy of your own home or something where family is having. You don't acknowledge that they happen to be a part of the Black race or the African American race. So let's start there. Yes.
Yeah, let's please.
Right.
Dive-
That's
dive-
awesome.
It
tell
was
me more.
interesting.
No.
Well, it was interesting to hear that because
Yeah.
again, I'm looking at my mother's side of the family, and they're just fair. They just look like fair people, and they are of Indian, apparently Caucasian, and then of course African American enslaved. And so heavy on the Indian area. I'm
Native
part
American
of
Indian or
Native American.
Okay.
So please forgive me. Yeah, indigenous. And that particular tribe is called the Hollywood tribe. So I have not been in years as far as a POW is concerned. But they were able to pass for white. They probably got the perks as what white privilege would bring. And she said it was accepted. There was nothing really more to talk about it. It is what it is. That's your cousin. Don't say nothing to her. Let her have her life. And it was all up and down like the East Coast. And it was other communities that did this and organizations. And I was like, my God, this runs really deep. So all that to say is I was introduced to colorism because of my mom being fair skinned. She would talk about incidents with her life and her sister's life because they were very fair and how, they were picked at. And then I have a cousin who was heavily picked at, long hair. She was probably brutalized being of the lighter hue. Now, me growing up in the North, I don't feel, I probably got privilege, but I don't feel like I was treated any different because I'm Black. So it wasn't until I came down to the South, attending Tuskegee, being in Alabama, where I got my first introduction of, hey, well, your ass is light skinned too. Because I always thought of myself being brown in comparison to my mother, my dad of brown skin, And so I was like, this is interesting. So I was sitting in a class, Mr. Fluker, shout out to him. God rest Black history at its finest. And this lady asked me, she was just like, well, being that it was towards the end of the semester, she was like, being that you are, of the fair hue, such and such, do you ever feel like that you get favor? And it was the first time where it was
like,
right. I said, what? Wait, because I had finished my presentation and I was like, what do you mean? I'm Black. But it was the first time it was in my face. And there was a lady, I think she was like sophomore or junior year. I'm a freshman. And she's asking me about color. And I said, ma'am, I can't answer that because I don't know. So it was from that point on, being in the environment of Alabama, of Tuskegee, where I had my own introduction of how bad the color distinction between my own race is. And it disheartened me because I was like, I never had it to be where it's being pointed out to me. It happened with my cousin. It may have happened with my parents, but to me, it did not happen until I got to Tuskegee. And that's how profound I saw it reigning in our community. It made me sad. Yeah. The other time was when I was working as a pharmacy tech in Cincinnati, and Jamaican family, grandmother brought her granddaughters. It's a lady pharmacist. She's of Vietnamese descent. And I'm sitting there supporting, helping them pass out the meds and stuff like that. All I hear is they're at the cash register. I hear, well, you just Black and ugly. So I was like, now who the fuck is saying this? Now, mind you, I'm just getting out of Tuskegee. So I'm pro-Black. I said, we in Cincinnati, God bless. And I look at my pharmacist. She ain't bust a move. Now, she heard it, but she ain't say nothing. So I looked up at the grandmother, and I was like, is she going to say something? And she just stood there. And I was like, y'all not going to address this? So I came around the thing. I said, don't you ever in your life call your sister Black and ugly. I said, both of y'all are gorgeous and beautiful and deep skin tone rich. Don't you ever say that to your daughter again. Or your sister. I'm sorry, your sister. Because I was heated.
Right.
And everybody, grandmother didn't say nothing.
Yeah, grandma was just
She
like,
like me tired.
And I was like,
what does the grandmother believe?
Me ear it all the time.
pretty much, because you know the
Mhm.
work I do. It's about behavior and habits and patterns. So what is it that you want to pass down to your granddaughters?
Right.
The behavior, the pattern, the habit that you okay with.
Mhm.
And that is inundated in your head, both consciously and unconsciously. And I'm just like, yeah, this is a wake up call. So that then I was just like, don't ever come to me about distinguishing in race and being different or whatever, because I'll address it real quick.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's my
beautiful.
that's
Somebody
my
should.
yeah,
Community.
introduction.
We used to be raised by our community, so that's good. Community.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, ladies,
Yes,
Miss
ma'am.
Pam, I'll go to you.
Can't go. No. Okay. Hi, cousin and
So,
godson.
you're of a darker hue.
I have the darker hair.
What have you experienced, especially being an entertainer?
Yeah. Well, I was born into colorism, in my opinion. My father was half Italian and half black, and I never really knew him. He was not a great person.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, one of my half brothers, found me when I was 16. He told me that I couldn't be his daughter because he didn't screw no black women.
Well, obviously that was a lie.
So
Right.
you're right. He screwed a lot of women because there's 4 Pam Olivias. Hello. No.
The plot thickens.
Right. Hello. Therapy is a beautiful thing. Sidebar. But yeah, that was my first dose of colorism. And then the second dose came when I went to college. I didn't even know about black colleges. So I got to college at an all-white college at UC San Diego, La Jolla. Shout out to La Jolla, beautiful city in San Diego area. When I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I was walking the streets of La Jolla, and it's very rich. I don't know if you've ever been to La Jolla in California, but it's very rich, hilly, beautiful beaches. And I was walking the streets, and I walked by the McSnack, and it wasn't McDonald's, it was McSnack. Don't get it twisted. They had shrimp salad. And I was walking down the street. I was like, this is beautiful. La, la, singing, I'm so happy. And this truck full of white men drove by and said, nigger. And I was like,
You looking around like you talking to me?
right, exactly. Nigger. And I was like, I just froze. And then I just started to cry. I'm 18. I started to cry. I was like, I think I just experienced racism for the first time. I'm a California girl, so all our racism is fairly covert. A lot more overt here, which is why my family questioned, why you moved to Georgia? Oh, please, Georgia, baby, Georgia? The racism is overt in Georgia. Yeah, I'm finding that out. So dealing with that, I literally cried for a few minutes, shook it off because that's my personality. I shake off stuff, and then I'm like, let's go play. And went on to the next thing. But I didn't realize the father thing had done something to me until I got into a relationship.
Mm.
And then it was like, okay, I think I need therapy. Because I just tried to date a Italian man because my grandmother always told me, go Italian, baby. They love hard. You want your nice Italian boy. Because my grandfather is from Naples, Italy.
Mhm.
Thus, the Olivia is actually an Italian last name. So I'm, in college looking for my Italian stallion. I date this guy for a few days and he's uneasy. Every time we walk past a brother, and it's an all mostly white school, we're like 0.02% on the campus, chocolatey. And we'd walk past one brother, and of course the brother's like, eyeballing him the whole way. And he was very uncomfortable to the point where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. If you can't be proud to walk with me down the corridors of the school, I can't walk with you anywhere. I can't even take you to the hood if I go to choir rehearsal because you're gonna be scared.
Yeah.
So that didn't last long, and I'm like, so there's some issues underneath here that I need to address. So I went to counseling, like I said, is your friend. And that helped me a lot to deal with forgiveness of being, because it was more than just colorism, it was rejection. And I had to deal with all those issues. But like I said, I thank God for therapy and for God, because I prayed a lot. and a lot of church. Went to church a lot. Started singing in the choir. Music helped escape. Music is a great escape for anybody, but especially for me. If I'm ever feeling down or about anything, I just throw on some music. But that's been my experience with colorism. Kind of superficial compared to your. Oh, I do have a aunt. My aunt, my father's twin sister. She was passing for Italian most of her life. She was a sheriff, and she did jujitsu, and she was actually finally got on the cover of Ebony magazine back in the day. That's when she came out being black.
Oh,
But
wow.
before that, she lived as an Italian American.
So I'm gonna come back to that for as how the media sees us, but I want to get your experience.
So like my experience, me being, dark skinned too, probably started when it's like elementary. Well, no, yeah, about elementary, middle school, like that. A kid, called me, was calling me like, oh, said I look like a skillet, you know what I'm saying, because of my skin color. And that kind of, messed with me. And so so that right there made me kind of more so end up dating with more light skinned people, because they usually, it was funny because like the light skinned people always was more attracted to me than my own like color hue, you know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of what started the whole situation of, me not really accepting my color, you know what I'm saying? Like as my, me being comfortable in my skin. But as I got older, I just started like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You're going to either like me or you're not, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was kind of my first kind of like introduction to colorism, how people like saw me, you know what I'm saying? And it happened with somebody that was the same kind of complexion as me, you know what I'm saying? They just might have been a little bit shade lighter than me, but they still like, yo. But I know kids are cruel, you know what I'm saying? But it did kind of affect me. I was like, what the hell? Like, damn, do I look like a skillet?
Right.
Shit, like, Jesus. So I remember going home and looking at it like, damn. Pulled out the skillet, was trying to compare, like, golly. So, but yeah, that kind of did affect me for a little bit. And I did, for a while there, I was always more attracted to people of the lighter skin tone because of what one kid said to me. So, yeah.
I think for myself, it's hard to figure out, being growing up in the South, whether it's because you're a woman or because you're black, period, or then if you dark skinned. It's kind of hard to try and distinguish. But I guess with me, it was more. I think like my grandmother, I didn't, you hear that shit in school, you black and look like dirt or blah, blah, blah. But for as at home, I think it was the opposite. For as my grandmother never called me that, but I have a cousin that was of lighter skin, and she always called him that shit color,
What?
Dang.
God.
Yeah. Grandma was yeah. Yeah, grandma was just
my God. Right.
right. A little shit colored little nigga. Yeah. Yeah. I do remember that. But she never shitted on me for my color. She never knew my name. I mean, she never called me by my name. I don't know if she ever knew my name, but
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
Okay.
Because she called me everything else but my name. So, hey, that's why I guess sometimes a lot of stuff don't bother me, because I've been getting it a long time.
She prepared you.
Wow.
And my mama. My mom used to call me some names too, but it was nothing about my color. It was just other shit.
Wow.
I hope
They talk about my legs.
girl.
Oh my goodness! Like, you ain't got no Mac, bro. You got them little skinny because it's talking about my daddy. They talk about everything. So like, oh, okay. And,
Just roll with. Okay.
I just roll with it. Now now just switching it to what I see as far as especially like media. So I do remember wanting to be lighter skinned because that's what I saw as being the face of beauty.
Jane Fonda.
Yeah, that was even, not just white, but lighter skinned women is the one that gets what you see on TV and in magazines and just stuff like that. So I do remember that of a kid, but then, as you grow an adult, like, I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. You accept me or you don't. I don't care. So as you grow, but I think we just need to be more reinforcement, and we'll talk about that too, as far as making sure whatever color you are or whatever of the spectrum, you're celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
You're celebrated. So now going back to the media, you want to talk about that?
Okay. I because we had talked about this. I think it was off camera last time. So actually, I'll start with the first series that I did, called Friends, Lovers, and Secrets, which is out on Tubi. Yes, I had to do a shameless plug on that.
Yes.
So, I didn't. So looking at that, I looked at like pretty much majority of the cast members are on the darker skin side. But when I came down here and started doing my feature film, and then I started working on the series for another series, I basically had more of fair skin, light skin women on there. And it was funny because like one of the actresses, she came to me, she was like, yeah, you might want to get some more brown skin, because we were talking like that. Pretty much all the girls on here are light skin. And I didn't, it didn't dawn on me. It was, people that came out and auditioned, and I thought you was good for the role. I just picked that. I wasn't looking at it like, oh, well, this person had to be light skinned, you know what I'm saying? Right. But it was just kind of interesting that, the cast, I guess pretty much the ladies kind of picked up on that and was like, yo, need more representation of all the different hues. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, okay. That opened my eyes like, dang, I didn't really?
Sorry.
That's what it was. Like, and then like I said, when I went back and started looking at my very first series, I was like, dang, everybody was dark skinned. It was once again, it was not intentional. It just, that was it, because that was in the Midwest. So I don't know if it was Midwest, then coming down here, because you have a whole lot of people down here in Atlanta coming from all parts trying to get in there. Mm-hmm. Trying to get into this entertainment game. Yep. So
now let me ask you, what's the difference between those two series?
Well, the first one, the one that's on Tubi, is more drama filled.
The one that's with all the dark skinned people was drama filled.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the one with the light skin
is more kind of lighthearted. It does have a little bit of drama in there. It's comedic too.
So you're saying dark people bring drama? No.
You can't look at it that way.
Sometimes we have biases, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes we have biases that come up.
Yes.
And it's outpictured in our world. And, for you to be able to see it, or somebody bring it to your attention.
Yeah, it was one of the actresses. Yeah, I think, they were all getting their hair and makeup done. I guess they were sitting around like
looking at each other.
Like, we all like, yeah. And then, one of them came to me, and it wasn't, it was not no disrespect or anything. Right. They were just like, especially now in this game as we in, there's so many different hues in there. And I was like, oh, okay. So
something to think about, because that's why I asked.
So
what was the difference between the two? Because it could be unconscious too. Because you always said that the lighter skin was attracted to you. Mm-hmm. So in the and then when we look at TV and drama, is the darker skin that's going to be playing the hoe or the crackhead, or something negative.
Yeah.
The fair skin is the one that's.
It's the romantic, because the ones with the lighter skin is more of a romantic type drama. I didn't even look at it. Why you do that?
You're just bringing it up. You're right. Dialogue. That's what happens.
So, just some of the things that we see, and it gets ingrained, it gets ingrained, because it's just crazy how society is still. Now, I would say things are better. Now, going back to your what's your aunt?
That was on the cover of it.
Now, I can't remember a dark-skinned woman that was on the cover.
Ebony.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Okay. That's true.
Cannot remember.
Right. Yeah. Well, now you could say Gabrielle Union possibly today.
But back then, back then,
it was Lena Horne.
Yes. Oh. Eartha Kitt. Now, if you ever looked at Eartha Kitt's her documentary, or her growing up, she was like on the other spectrum, because she got shitted on because she was light skinned, and she had a lot of trauma from that, and it still haunted her Even she needed therapy. She really did.
It's interesting. CNN had this thing where it was about, and I can't remember the title. It said something about being dark skinned. It was like a 1 hour show or maybe 2 hour show, and it highlighted and gave a platform for Black women of darker hue to speak on their experiences and the views and perceptions that they even had on light skinned women.
Mm-hmm.
But then they turned around and they did a 2 hour show on light skinned women and the amount of information that was shared being light skinned. And what was interesting is that people are having same experiences. It's still where folks is being shitted on. It's still being compared, still limitations, still being harmed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, and so I wanted them to so bad to bring the women together. I don't think they ever did that for there be a continued dialogue because it was like the shares and now like what were the lessons hearing both sides
But
because
they was waiting on me, so that's why y'all here.
right. And it was just interesting to hear that because I was like, for me, I heard of people who are getting harmed and hurt. I had an example. My cousin, she got harmed, hurt all the time because people assumed because she was light skinned, fair, long hair, that she was cute, that she was this, and she was far from that. So most of the time she hung out with men because she could not hang out with women because of the stereotypes and
the jealousy.
Right.
And I was just like, my God, like I wouldn't want to hang out with y'all either. So, but yeah. And it's sad. It really sad because I'm just like, we continue to play out beliefs that we're not even addressing. And then they still play out because you got people out there who's believing it and then implementing it. So it's just, it's ridiculous.
So that brings me to my next one. Did you have something?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I keep seeing talking about good hair. School
days.
School days. Somebody
Yes.
can remember school days? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And he even went to the Spike Lee of having them in different hotels.
And
If you ever heard some of the backstory behind that,
Oh,
the
really?
fair skin was in a nicer
So he
hotel.
set them up mentally before
Yes.
they
Wow.
The darker skin was in a shitty hotel.
Oh, that's
And he kept them
I didn't know
separate.
that.
Yes, read some of the backstory behind that.
Oh my God. I'm like, what are we doing?
They got their mental to that point where they can do
So they can
true
really come-
portrayal
yeah.
in front of the camera.
Yes.
I be loving film directors. That is so brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Nene, that's what you're gonna do.
I'm gonna bring you in the character. If you weren't in character before, I bring you in the character now.
Right. So when I look at like Michael Jackson, now they said he had what's the alopecia,
Alopecia is
Whatever
hair
the
loss.
skin-
That's what
that
I was
is.
about to say. Like whatever he said, they said he had. What he
Yeah.
had? The
It's
little,
not vertigo, but
Whatever
but-
the skin disease that makes you
Yeah.
tan like
Uh,
like I guess
whatever
right
that
here.
thing is.
vitiligo or
Yeah,
something
but-
like that.
vitiligo.
Yeah, that's it.
Vitiligo, like the
But
model.
you didn't never see that as a kid. But okay,
As he got as an adult.
yeah, you just saw that as an adult. So it's like I still call cap. Neither here nor there. But you can just because of all the plastic surgery that he had, just observation, it seems like he definitely did not like what he saw in the mirror.
But it seemed like all the Jacksons are kind of like that too.
They
I
all-
think they all went to the same
like
plastic surgery.
Yeah, because
They all got the mental thing.
yeah.
The mental thing going on. So I guess do colorism play into your self-esteem?
I can say yeah for me for like when I was like I said the whole elementary thing where the kid called me for a little bit. Then
Yeah.
like I said I got to the point where it's like I don't really give a fuck.
Right.
So as an adult, do you seek out? So the person you're dating, what color?
So she's brown skin.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. And that was the crazy thing. Like when me and her got together, I wasn't sure she really liked me like that as a potential person. You know what I'm saying? Or just wanted to be friends because, like I said, most of the time, everybody that was brown skin, they just wanted to be friends. The light skinned ones were the ones that were like, "Oh yeah, I want you."
Yeah.
So this one here, she's like, "I want you." I was like, "Oh, okay, you brown skin." I was like, "Yeah, I want you too." But yeah, so yeah. So she's brown skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, ladies?
What? Go for it.
Okay, because you're so intelligent. My perspective is from an entertainment perspective. I fell into the lighter skin, looks great on camera, gets more attention, more fans by your record thing. So and in light of the fact that the father said what he said, I didn't screw no black women, so she couldn't be my daughter. I did go through the bleaching
I'm
phase.
glad you brought that
Oh God, I'm being
I am ready to hear.
vulnerable.
Let's do this.
Yeah, I would actually go to the Beverly Hills Dermatology, plug for them. They're really great, but they do more than just bleaching. But I went through the whole, actually, no, it was the black owned dermatologist in the hood that did the bleaching.
Well, did it bleach or was it they
No,
taking your money?
That stuff was harsh, man. They bleached. But I justified it as I was evening out my tone because my arms and my hands are darker than my face and all that. So I was like, let me just bleach these arms. And my hair was blonde. And people were like, Pam, I never knew you had blonde hair that grew out of your arms. Yeah, that's my grandfather coming through. No. But yeah, I used to, particularly my arms, because my hands are quite a bit darker than my face, or they used to be in California. Here, not so much. It's so hot here. And then I just got tired because it got expensive. It smells really bad. It's very strong. That's why I couldn't imagine Michael doing that on purpose all the time, every day. It's extensive because his fingers were, everything was lighter. So it's some harsh chemicals.
Yeah.
And they're very strong. So I would say maybe he did have it, but I don't know where in the course of time.
Yeah.
That we didn't see. But I love Michael, so I'm not gonna say anything else. Okay, love ya. Bye. Okay, go ahead, Misty.
I don't even know how to comment on this. I'd be like, just stop the bullshit. That's how I feel because I'm like, it was like, okay, I went to Jamaica.
Yeah, best tan.
Oh, I love Jamaica. Look, I cried the first time I went, so that's a sidebar. Anyway, I didn't want to leave. Okay, but one of the tour guides, we were having an authentic experience, so we didn't stay on the resort. And they had us everywhere in Jamaica, just taking us everywhere. So one particular guy who he brought, we had gone to Dunn's River. And so in Dunn's River, or you've been, okay. So they have where there's this waterfall and where it's like the, I don't want to say pure water. What is it? River water runs into the sea. So there's like this blending, right? And so we went into the sea portion or the ocean portion, and one of the guys was like, he was not coming in. And I said, you need to come in, being goofy. Why is he coming in? Like, I'm making it a point. I'm like, you've been rolling with us. Don't be acting funny now. So finally the tour guy was like, he can't get in the water. Why can't he get in the water? He bleaches himself. My nigga, why are you bleaching yourself?
You can't get in water when you're bleaching.
So, well, you can't be in, I guess, the ocean water. I never investigated, but it might be because of the salt and stuff. And then you got the bleach and the chemical. He get up there, get fried or whatever. I don't know what happens, but I never investigated. But he could not get in the water. He could get into the freshwater portion, but could not get into that water.
With that salt.
And I was like, well, why is he bleaching himself? He was like, well, because it's just like the thing to do. I was like,
the thing to do.
There. And it's like it's trying to like creep its way over into Africa.
No. It's there.
It's
okay.
I've seen some of these African shows that's been on Netflix.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh wow.
Well, maybe because they're trying to like combat it. I think it is like don't do it or don't bring it over here or whatever. And I'm just like, this is freaking sad. I said we got people over here emulating us in every way of our being. Whether what we look like, what our lips look like, or whatever, and we steady trying to get to look like them. And I'm just like, please wake up. Like, let's stop this. I get real irate with this because I'm just like, it's not necessary anymore. Right. Can you please check? Now, if it's something that you want to do, I can't put my belief and intention on you. Right. But it's just like, why do that? And you're stripping, and then you're not even looking at the health. The health predicaments at all. And I'm like, is it worth it? And to some people it is. So I'm just, I don't know. But it's like they wrap and putting the cream and just gonna wrap it around. And this burns. Take it off.
So cover up them vitals.
Yeah. If you look at those, like a lot of those African movies, it's on Netflix, especially on Netflix, you always see a lighter hue, the lead role. If you ever paid attention to that, the lighter hue is the star, blah blah blah. You don't see a lot of dark skin. If you do, they'd help.
Mhm.
There to help. And then I was watching some kind of I like documentaries too. So over in India, they bleach their skin, especially if they are darker. You know, they bleach their skin.
It just makes me sad because okay, so I currently have queens that I stay with, and so one of them is a film director. So shout out to Nina Lee, and it's been interesting getting a view as to what actually takes place in that world, right? And so I saw where there was a director that wanted to cast, so it was an African man, brown skin, film director. She was going for another actress that was the same complexion because she delivered it well. Not saying the other young lady did not, but the other young lady had more of the exotic features. And when I mean that, she looks mixed and she looks like maybe she's like of Japanese descent. And so, but she went with the African American brown skinned young lady. And she was told, because the people who pay the bills, well, we just want to go with this. And she was just like, and she was being adamant, like, to go with this young lady. And they danced around it. And I said, that's some bullshit. Y'all want that other lady because of her look. And that was when I was just like, we got to have our own stuff. I was like, we have to have you have to have your own money. And I think that's where it decided for me, because I said, I'm over people telling our story and what it is that is happening with us, or somebody else of another race dictating how I want to share a story and a line because of a look. That pisses me off.
Yeah.
That pisses me off.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
that's one of the things. Yeah, definitely when you're dealing with like networks and stuff, they will come at you because like, hey, we funding the bill. I get where you're saying, but we think this person right here gonna give us the numbers, because this is a numbers game at the end of the day. It's a numbers game. So they're looking at the numbers. They feel like, oh, this person's gonna get more numbers. Granted, this person is very exceptional at what they did, but we think this color right here is gonna give us those numbers because we got to get that money back that we about to give you to make this project.
Right. Sounds like the Supremes and
absolutely
Dream Girls and everything else.
It makes me sad. It actually makes me sad, but it also inspires me to have my own thing.
Right.
As I continue to be the artist that I am, it's just to have my own thing and not to be dictated by another's opinion, judgment, or money. Because I'm just like, at the end of the day, how do I create something to where it's being the truth? Just as long as, everybody wants to promote deception. Because to me, that's deceiving. And we've allowed deception to penetrate everything in our lives. And that's what we're getting to see now, is the deception. And it's just like, when does truth come in? And it's showing itself. But anyway, that's another topic. But yeah, I'll leave it at that.
I just think of Viola Davis when she was talking about the making of The Woman King and how long it took, because they didn't want her, for as her being that dark skin, they didn't think she would bring in the money.
How you not have a dark skinned woman for African?
But they didn't want to put no money behind it because they didn't think she could bring in that money.
Yeah, it's a numbers game. This is a numbers game. They looking at it like, we don't know.
I mean, I work in the business. What? Really?
Yes. Yes. So today, if we still dealing with this, is there anything that you do personally to, I guess, educate, or even just to change the thought process of some people? Because I know you had that example of the lady in the store. But what do you do in your own, or do you do anything on your own to promote just, appreciation for all skin tones?
I make a point for me, I have this thing now. So I said, for those who are considered white, or who are labeled white, or those who are considered labeled black, because I'm at a point where seeing beyond, and I know some people be like, you can't see beyond race, but I'm just like, actually I can, and I'm gonna train myself to do so. Because again, if I don't start correcting in me the biases and the things that may be unconscious and conscious. So I said, that person, and I'll do it with a funny tone to it, but I'd be like that person who may be considered labeled Indian or brown or whatever. Because for me, it's about our dialogue, and words are powerful. So with me, in order to retrain myself, I have to use my words. I have to use what it is and be able to see what it is that I believe so that I can have a different experience. So, and just changing the dialogue. So I subtly put it in there, but it'd be loud.
Okay. I will probably have a point of it now because of this conversation. I never really included it in I do morning posts that are positive. So I usually just make them a general positive post. Oh, hi. That's me talking. But I think it's a good point. I think it's worth bringing up. It's still an issue. So
It's still an issue in 2023.
Right.
We have to do better as people.
we do, because my family is really mixed. My cousin's online right now, who's a Caucasian woman, and she's one of my favorite cousins. So I usually see beyond color a lot, but I know people say see me. So
Yeah.
I'm working on that to see me, see them for who they are, any color.
Right.
But
Miss Nene.
I mean, like I said, with the actors that came to me about looking at it beyond, the colorism and stuff like that, I was like, okay. So now when I'm writing or when I have auditions for people to come in, I got to be mindful of just like, oh, okay, I'm just picking them because of their skin tone. You know what I'm saying? Not really thinking. And then you bringing up the thing about the difference between the shows. I was like, oh, I didn't really look at it like that.
Right,
Like,
right.
now I really got to think about some things. I was like, oh, I wasn't thinking that. Okay. Yeah. So it's like now this, like you said, about having this conversation now is going to really broaden my horizons of moving forward in this industry of how I make sure everybody's represented in my shows and movies and stuff like that.
That's
So,
good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
We're learning.
Yeah,
really,
really good.
I always like these
I guess
conversations.
for me, my personal thing is the children's book because
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I thought you were
mine my
Shameless plug.
The Adventures of Hildy and Carlos,
All right.
which is based off of my granddaughter because she had a darker hue, and you don't see a lot, especially at least not when I was growing up, of my representation as far as in books because I know because she's darker than me, so I know she's gonna get it. So every chance I get, I tell her she's beautiful. And maybe I need to because I don't think I probably did. I said you might let chocolate drop, but maybe I need to take the chocolate out so it's not a focus on her color. And it's just you're just beautiful.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's the labels. Like if you
Yeah.
actually look at how it is that we show up in our society, we come with so many labels. I have come with so
We
many
got
labels.
PTSD,
Right.
from all sides.
Exactly. So there is a book called A Course of Miracles. Shout out to my community, of course, because I want to bring in the South. So it's called A Course of Miracles, and they're affirmations and lessons, and it's supporting you on a mental, emotional, your spiritual realm. So it don't matter your race, it don't matter your race, your religion, faith, whatever, but it's affirmation. So one of the lessons is lesson 2. Nothing has meaning, and everything that I apply meaning to has an effect in my world. And so really, as for me, my steward is to not always have a meaning. And if there is a meaning that I've put to it, what is the meaning? Because really it's a judgment. And if you go to a judgment is what is causing the suffering and pain. So if I can relinquish and move to a position of being a neutral observer and really just enjoying being present, not putting a necessary meaning on it, I can actually have a true experience. Of course, the miracles. Nothing has meaning. And if we're willing to dismantle the meanings that we put towards things, my God, what kind of experience will we really have in our present state and mindset? So
That's beautiful.
Yes, that is. So I think we had a great conversation about this and a needed conversation. I think we probably need to keep talking about it until people get. I'm so tired of talking about it, but until we elevate as a people where we're can get to the point where we're not necessarily looking at the hue. You see that you're, of whatever race, but you're not making that judgment because of your race or even the hue of your color. We're being a better place as a people, as some human beings. So we're gonna get on to the real ass question today, and it's gonna be lighter, just to kind of lighten up the mood. It's gonna lighten up that mood. All right, real ass question of the day. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Because this one's funny for me. All right, you're going on a girls trip, right? Everybody at the airport, you get ready to go through security. All of a sudden, hey, I need to go to the bathroom. So you ask your girls to watch your bags, right? You go and do your thing. Come on back. So now it's time to go through airport security. So once you go through, dude pulls you to the side. Hey, come on over here, and pulls out your bags, right? Opens up your bag, and all of a sudden, all these sex toys is on top, and then you got a dildo that fell out and rolled on the floor. Now your girl's over there in the corner just crying. So I had to be one of them heifers. Are you pissed? What do you do? How you laugh it off? I mean, because now everybody saw the dildo rolling across the floor.
I would crack up. I'd be like, y'all know y'all come. I'm coming for y'all. Be mindful. Don't leave your bags. I thought it was gonna be some cocaine or something like that.
That's what I said. Like that purple one that's the extra large.
I said I'm gonna lighten it up, because we had some serious conversations here.
Absolutely. It would be funny to me.
Me
Because
too.
I'm just
Yes.
like, yeah.
Because I'm a jokester anyway, so it's like, it's that get back is gonna be real.
Be ready.
I strongly believe in laughter. It's healing for the soul.
Yeah.
Laugh at yourself is even better.
But that initial look on your face when he opened up and all of these damn sex toys, and then one fall out on the floor. Now everybody looking.
I'll be like, mind your business. Mind your business. That's what I'll be like, mind your business.
I'm taking care of mine. Just leave me alone.
Like, whose bag is this?
I'm not subtracting or adding to the population.
That part.
Now I actually saw this on IG. Somebody they did their friend like that. He opened up the bag and it was like a double-sided dildo, and she looking like, oh my god. And the friends over there just dying. They were just dying laughing. I was like, oh my god, what do you do?
I'm straight laughing. I was just looking at him like, hey. I look at the security guy like,
it's hard out there.
Right.
It's hard out there. It's hard out there for you.
Please place that back in my bag.
I said, that's all you.
Please close that as quickly as you can.
But I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, I just wanted to bring some laughter back, because we did hit on some seriousness right there.
definitely learned a lot today, for real.
Good. So we're gonna go ahead on and we can try and keep y'all on in an hour here. So we're gonna get to this celebrating of my Black excellence.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So every week we recognize and celebrate the achievements and contributions African Americans have made to this country. So today we want to celebrate Ms. Mona Scott Young, television producer and entrepreneur. Mona, a New York native, entrepreneurship started when she co-founded Violator Management Company. Over the course of many years, Violator helped launch and revamp the careers of artists such as Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J, Q-Tip, Foxy Brown, Ja Rule, Mobb Deep, 50 Cent, Mariah Carey, Fantasia, and Missy Elliott, who she still manages today. Mona transitioned to television in 2005, producing the media franchise hit reality TV show Love and Hip Hop, and then all the spinoffs. then Money, Power, and Respect, and many, many more. She has been recognized and received many awards to include the Entertainer Pioneer Award at the United Nations in 2022. So Mona Scott Young, we salute you for your contributions to making this country great. Yeah, so we get our class back next week. So announcements, Night of Expression Showcase, November 18th, starting at 7 p.m. So, we're still solidifying artists.
I thought it was. Oh,
We're still solidifying artists.
we're in.
But, it's going to be great. Tickets are only $10. Y'all spend more of that at Burger King. Come on and support these artists.
Girl.
Tickets are on sale. TerraDomeEntertainment.com /events. Get your tickets. So, yes, that's coming November 18th. I'm gonna do that side out to my ladies.
I know. I saw.
We're in.
Because I know she wasn't looking at me because I can't sing a note. So.
Look at my ladies here. Brace some R&B back.
We got
Yeah.
you, girl. We got you.
Wait a minute, is the Night of Expression or the other one?
It's the showcase, the one that you came and left early.
Oh, see,
She put you on blast.
that is the dynamics of our relationship.
Let's get it on.
Pretty much. That is our dynamics.
And this heifer didn't even say nothing. I was like, I ain't had my glasses on.
Oh my God. It leaps further.
No, I ain't had my glasses on. Trying to be cute out there.
I love her.
All right. So that I'm hearing some echoes.
He pushing buttons over there.
Yeah, they pushing buttons over there.
We producing.
That is our show. But before we close, of course, we got to pay some bills. So here's a word from our sponsor, Terradome Entertainment. Terradome Entertainment. We turn your fear of dreaming into amazing realities. If your dream is to become a photographer, we have a nice intimate photo studio just for you. If you want to record that next hit song or do voiceover work, we have a state-of-the-art studio also for you. If you want to professionally record your own podcast, well, we have that too. Check us out at www.terradomeentertainment.com. We are the only ones to turn your fear of dreaming into amazing realities. All right. Shout out to Dude over there, producer extraordinaire, for some of those beats. If you have any questions or comments, email us at info@terradomeent.com. That's info@terradomeent.com. Final word, DJ Talented.
Live life to the fullest and stop being assholes. Straight to the point.
Yeah, you go. Drop that mic.
Color doesn't matter. Love the person for the person, not the look.
Yes. Miss Pam, what you got for
I
final
echo
words?
that. See beyond color. See them for who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But just that, for who they are, their character, their color in it, everything. Just see people as they are. And, if you love them. If you don't, keep them at a distance.
Miss Denell Porché.
Be willing to see beyond the label.
Yeah.
Just that. That's
Always
it.
deep.
If there's
That's
a
always
label
good.
there, a judgment there,
Awesome.
be willing to let it go for a moment and actually see a person, hear a person, listen to a person for the first time ever.
There you go.
Mhm.
Miss Nene.
So I'll say, just accept yourself. Don't let what anybody say about you get into your head. Just love yourself.
All right, there we go. Here is the real ass quote of the day. When you stop living your life based on what others think of you, real life begins. Make your happiness a priority. All right. Join us live every Saturday at noon for the Power Hour with the Real Ass People Society crew here on Terradome Entertainment Radio, and catch the replay of this show and others on TerradomeENTRadio.com or on all your major podcast apps. And you can hit us up on IG, Power Hour _raps _crew. I am your president, Ms. Entertainment. You can contact me at MIZZ_entertainment_ATL. And my chief entertainment officer,
DJ Talented_1 Instagramming.
Ms. Paya. How can we contact you?
Pro Lyrics on Instagram.
All right, Ms. Denell.
You'll find me only on Instagram at Denell Porché, your artist, poet, singer, songwriter, minister of spiritual consciousness, and more.
And
That's your
more.
handle.
Yeah,
There you go.
Ain't it all right?
She made it sure, like I'm only on Instagram.
absolutely.
And
I'm
she's
only-
something on TikTok that is not my page.
That would not be me at all.
I'm only worried about one shit.
One thing.
Forget it.
Miss Nene.
So you can find me on Instagram at Nene the director, or Chasing My Dreams Productions on Instagram. I got so many other pages, but that's all right. That's the best page.
Top 2.
Right, yeah.
And as always, I leave y'all with this: be kind to each other, love one another, keep God first. Thank you for joining. Stay safe, and we're out. Deuces.